Hi, I'm Julie. I'm Mike's wife.
Oh, that makes me Mike. We actually interviewed places we wanted to retire to, and we fell in love with Brighton. When we just first moved into this house, had my brush with meningitis, and my body reacted with sepsis. I was 10 weeks in intensive care, and it was kind of touch and go.
There was at least 3 times when they said, come in, that he's taken a turn for the worst. So I think in the end, you just become numb to it. You just keep going along, and you hope it's going to be okay. Initially, when you got meningitis, people are saying, don't worry, don't listen to any stories about losing limbs. But as time went on, it was very obvious you were going to lose some of your limbs because they were jet black and there was no way that they were going to recover.
I mean, limb loss, any limb loss is huge. And of course you're shocked, and you don't know what the future's going to hold. I used to get to bed, take my legs off on the edge of the bed to go to bed, and I'd sit there and I'd think, what am I going to do to get through the next day? It's just so dark a place. So I recognise all the stages that you have of grief. That you have denial, you've got a bargaining that this didn't happen, you've got the anger, and then with me, it was depression, and this was so black a place to go to. And straight away I'll say, the big thing was talking. A third person who can say to you, do you know, you're right to be angry. You're right to feel how you do. Your family and friends won't see you as diminished. That what you're going through is a really, really big change. We didn't understand what had happened to me, but MRF and the information there and talking with people there, you get the full description of what meningitis is, what the sepsis was. So it's a go-to resource in that sense. Yeah. So for me, it was little victories. It was doing things for the first time, cleaning my teeth the first time, or picking up a cup the first time, or even getting on a bus. Little victories built up in a more positive me, to the point that I could observe the depression and let it go. Nobody chooses to be on this journey. I knew I was on a journey and there was no getting off. And I remember thinking that this is real. There's no getting off. Right, let's make the most of this. Let's see what we can do with it. Be the best you can with that. In the house, the best in the way of adaptations we've got are some grab rails to help me get up the stairs, and funnily, lots of other people have said how useful they are to them too. And then I've got like a Velcro strap, and that I can insert a fork or a spoon, and it's quite easy to eat. And it's the same kind of device, and Julie, you made me one to use the computer, the keyboard. So we've got a little stylus sticking out of the Velcro strap, and I use the QWERTY keyboard. Driving is an automatic car, so I press the automatic go pedal and stop pedal with my prosthetic. And there's a little U-shaped device that clips into the steering wheel that lets me steer. So it's possible you can do all these things, and that's with kind of a minimum amount of adaptations, I would say. Despite having lost 4 limbs, I mean, I'll put my arms like away or whatever. If I was sat across you at the dinner table at a cafe or something, you wouldn't, it's just Mike. So that's how I think of myself. So that's coming back to that acceptance, if you like. We've come outside here in Brighton where Julie and I live, and it's instantly reminded me Brighton is a very inclusive place where people can be people. So I don't stick out like a sore thumb in any way, minus my hands, minus my legs. But I do know when I was in rehabilitation, learning to walk again, talking with the other patients, a very big item we talked about is how would other people see us? it was about being self-conscious and wondering how we would fit out with everybody else. Children are brilliant. They come up, they want to know what it's all about, but quite often adults don't ask and they don't get in the conversation to find out what has happened with you. I say I'm lucky here in Brighton because people are, it's kind of everything goes, laissez-faire, but I know it's a very big item for anybody who's on this journey, perhaps in a different part of the country. And all I can say is that subsides. You get very used to the odd glance and just being there and being slightly different for other people. But those that want to know will ask. They'll come and ask.